Like, comment, and subscribe for more content.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of a Funko podcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm John Travolta. I'm just kidding. I'm MD Shady.
In today's episode of a Funko podcast, which at this point of when this podcast gets released, it's easy to say that the last podcast we did is once again our most viewed episode of a Funko podcast. But now we're going to talk about some missed pops for August 2019, which there's one on the day that we recorded the podcast, which was August 29th, and then there were a lot of announcements on August 30th that we missed, which is crazy the amount of announcements they made on that day. So I'm going to go through the list. So the first one on August 29th, we got ourselves a pretty decent wave of Dragon Ball Z pops. So as the list goes, we got Training Vegeta, Trunks, World Tournament Goku, Piccolo, Mecha Frieza, Krillin with Destructo Disc, Bulma, and Android 16. Then, as you may see on your screen, confirmed by the Funko app, but later discussed in an actual post that we'll probably talk about later on for September 2019 announcements, we got ourselves a BT21 7-pack that will be exclusive to Barnes & Noble, which, as the list goes for these characters, we got Koya, RJ, Shuki, Mang, Jimmy, Tata, and Cookie. And that was announced August 30th. And then after that will be the highly anticipated Apex Legends lineup of Funko Pops, which we got Gerbolator, Wraith, Pathfinder, Bloodhound, Lifeline, Mirage, Bangalore, and Caustic. I probably said some of those names wrong, but then we got ourselves a flocked purple Scooby-Doo that'll be exclusive to Box Lunch, and part of the proceeds I think is going to Feeding America, I think it is. And like every pop bought, like something to do with like you give like 10 meals out or something like that. And then we got 3 pops for the game Guild Wars 2, which we got Baby Aurene, Right Lock, Palawa, Ignatius Joko. And then announced from the Persona 5 collector's box that is exclusive to EB Games / GameStop, we got Protagonist and we got Arsene. Then the very highly anticipated Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty box for August. These pops were announced on the Funko app and confirmed. The 2 pops that were included in the pod racing themed box are Aura Singh and Sebulba. And last but not least, certainly not least, very hyped pop, and that is part of the Ad Icons lineup. We got Chester Cheetah from Cheetos. So I guess I'll start off with the first pop, which are the Dragon Ball Z pops. As I'm looking at these photos now, these are some pretty cool pops. I like the design of, or I like the hair of Android 16, which is on the bottom right, and I just noticed now actually he's got like a bird on his like left hand. Krillin with the disc is pretty cool. I noticed Piccolo, if I'm not mistaken, looks like, does he have like an arm like chopped off? Yeah. Okay. World Tournament Goku looks pretty cool, and same with Trunks. They're all pretty cool pops. The BT21, I'm gonna save my thoughts mainly for when we talk about, because these, spoiler alert, were announced as separate pops also in September. So I think I'm going to mention about the 7-pack when we get to the separate ones for September. And Apex Legends, never played the game, so I can't really give my thoughts on if the characters have super amount of detail or not. But they all look pretty detailed. Especially, usually all the game pops have quite a bit of detail. I couldn't really say the names of which ones they are. I think it's Pathfinder, if I'm not mistaken. The top row, the third one, looks pretty cool with like the orange like light or eye.
That is Pathfinder.
Okay. Yeah, they all look pretty cool, but Pathfinder kind of stands out to me. Same with, I think it's Bloodhound, which is the fourth one. The Scooby-Doo Flocked, it's pretty cool. Probably won't pick this up, but still cool. It's cool that this is a pop that's kind of given out for like a cause Box Lunch actually likes to do that a lot, where they make a pop and it's like for something like the Earth Day pops, or they just do something to like give back to people. Guild Wars 2, pretty detailed. Once again, don't really know the game, or actually I don't know the game at all, I should say. But yeah, like I said, they're pretty detailed. The Persona 5 pops, our scene looks wicked. I'm curious whether like the mask that it is, like that triangle like type mask, if like the head is that shape, or they just did a pop head and that is in front of it, and then like the wings are sweet. The color scheme is just awesome, especially the way they did the eyes. That's like not even Popeyes. Like
Louisiana Fest.
We're not giving free promotion, Popeyes. Sorry. And then the protagonist, which I think is just an alter ego of Joker, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the same person. It's pretty cool, up in shackles and stuff. Aura Singh is really cool. It's got the gun on the side. And I can't tell, that's probably just like hair that's tied up in Aura Singh. And it's got like the one like antenna. It's pretty cool. Saboba is pretty sweet. Even though that a lot of people were anticipating that it's probably going to be Saboba with a pod racer, that was going to be a Pop Rides as a part of this box. It's still pretty cool. It's hard to tell, but you can actually see that under the goggles, his eyes are like that yellowy, like bad guy eyes color, which is pretty sweet. I might pick this up actually. Like if it's a decent price and someone's selling it separately, not with the subscription box, which actually, just to let people who don't know yet, after October and I'm pretty sure December's subscription box, there will be no more Smuggler's Bounty subscription boxes. They're ending it after the next 2 boxes.
I don't know why, but that just gave me chills for some reason.
It's like, yes, no more subscription. No, which I don't know what the boxes are. I think it's rumored that it's one is going to be for the Mandalorian Disney Plus show that's coming out, and the other is probably going to be Rise of Skywalker, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then Chester Cheetah. This is sweet. And they did the same thing that they did with, I think it was the Energizer Bunny, where it's like, you got the glasses, but you can actually like see that they have like the Popeyes behind it, which is cool. And super cool in detail. A lot of people are hyping over this. I think like this was like, behind the polar bear from Coca-Cola, this is like the second best ad icons they announced the month. I think it had better hype than the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, I believe it. I feel like more people eat Cheetos than use Energizer batteries.
Energizer batteries are pretty expensive.
Yeah. Get that dollar store.
Yeah. Great. Already the first like 5 minutes I gotta bleep out damn podcast. Alright, so
I'll go backwards now just because I don't want to scroll all the way back to the first pictures. Chester Cheetah, of course I was pumped for this. Ad Icons is probably my favorite lineup, so whenever there's another good one, I'm always glad to see it. This one looks good. There's nothing really else that they could do to it. Maybe if we see a flocked one down the road, that'd be cool. And then, to go on to the Smuggler's Bounty box, I anticipated Saboba as soon as they announced pod racing. I knew it wasn't going to be the Anakin because we already have a version of Anakin like that.
Yeah.
So I figured it'd be Saboba, and I was really pumped to see this pop. But then when they made this announcement and I seen that Aura Singh was in it, I was like, wow, I didn't even think of Aura Singh to be like a pop, at least in this Smuggler's Bounty box. And I don't know, they're almost like tied together for like if I had to pick one to get, I don't know which one I would actually pick. So that's why I'm getting both of them. Then when we go into Persona, what is it, Persona 5, right?
Yeah.
These pops are alright. The, what did you say this guy's name was again?
It's Arsene.
Arsene. It's weird. It reminds me of a couple different things mixed together. It reminds me of that one character from Power Rangers. I forget what its name is. I think it starts with a Z, like Zord, something like that. Somebody might know out there listening. Definitely gives me a feel of that. And then you got like the wings. I kind of wish for this picture that they didn't have that purple lighting on the pops, because then you can kind of tell like.
I didn't even notice that actually. Yeah, I just noticed that now.
Yeah, I noticed that with the protagonist.
Yeah.
Because I thought the hair was actually purple, but then I looked at like the base and like the shoes and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, no, it's just the lighting. I kind of wish they would have had normal lighting, because then like I don't know. As much as this pop looks kind of cool, it kind of looks kind of cheap to me as well. Just because, like, I don't know, it's weird. The legs, I think, is what's throwing me off here. The Guild Wars 2 pops are actually quite amazing. I also haven't played or heard of Guild Wars 2, but all three of these pops are so highly detailed, and they look really good. Like, I wouldn't mind getting this one. What did you say this guy's name was?
That is, if I can find, that's Right Lock.
Right Lock. Okay, yeah, that one's freaking sweet. They're all, actually, I would give these pops 9 out of 10. Like, they're nice looking pops. Again, like you said, it's nice that Box Lunch is giving back to America, I guess it is, with this Scooby-Doo flocked purple. I kind of botched that, but people know what I'm talking about. If I can find this for like $25, $30, I'll probably get this, because 1, purple's my favorite color, and 2, I haven't even started collecting any Scooby-Doo pops yet, which I've been meaning to do for the last like 4 years. On to Apex Legends. As DK Wrestler said, the Pathfinder stands out and the Bloodhound stands out. I will probably get one or the other. I might get Bloodhound just because I feel like that one has a little bit more detail and looks a little better than the Pathfinder, and they all look pretty good. I've played Apex Legends, but to me it's just like a huge Overwatch ripoff, kinda. That being said, I do like the game, and I'll probably pick up one of those pops. I guess we'll skip over BT21 because we might as well just talk about it at the same time. And then on to the new set of Dragon Ball pops. These are wicked. I'm loving how recently with the Dragon Ball pops, they've been doing a lot of more like action poses instead of like just their arms beside their bodies. All of these pops look really good. Some of the ones that stand out to me are the Training Vegeta, the Mecha Frieza, and the Destructo Disc Krillin. I actually really like that Krillin. That's probably my favorite from the set. I will probably pick up most of these or all of them. So,
Alright, moving on now to the September 2019 Funko Pops, and this first one, I guess I'm going to have to use an MD shading, MD Shady saying, and that is the word groundbreaking. This is, I'm a little speechless over this, is the first ever 19-inch Funko Pop, and it's Batman. Obviously, of course, they would do Batman to try this out with first, because, you know, the very first Funko Pop ever was Batman. So, and it's also the biggest lineup of Funko Pops that Funko has. So, obviously, Batman. It is really cool. I like the detail in the belt. It's got the cool, like, Bat logo in the middle, obviously. The white eyes are cool, obviously. And the cape is just, like, it's not just, it's kind of like blowing in the wind kind of dealio.
I love this. I personally don't collect any of the Batman pops, but seeing this one is really cool, and like you said, using my words here, groundbreaking for sure. I can't wait to see what else they make in these 19-inch super-sized pops. I've been reading up on this a little bit in like comments from like Instagram or like Facebook posts, and a lot of people are mad at that like $100 US price point, which I think someone wrote on there like is about 146 Canadian after taxes or something.
Yeah, K-Dog and Fish, a store that is up north from us, it has it on pre-order for I think 140 Canadian because the exchange rate. Yes,
Actually, know the owners of that place.
The bad side to this, I feel, yes, it's going to be expensive, but also, yes, it's a 19-inch pop, so it's understandable.
Yeah, it's massive. I've spent over $100 on collectibles that are like not even half that size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it's a good deal. I'm definitely gonna get one, whether I like pre-order it or not. I'm sure we can find. But like, then again, how much do you think it might go for at like cons?
Yeah.
If you don't pre-order it, right? Like.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, so yes, the bad side to this is that it's going to be very expensive because of the size. But I thought about the good side of this, and that is a 19-inch Batman 80th anniversary black and gold box. It's gonna look wicked.
Oh, it's in the black and gold box?
I'm pretty sure the way that they do these glam shots and like the way with like the logo on the bottom and it's like black and I think this will be in the black and gold box as a part of their 80th anniversary, which that'd be sweet.
That would be sweet. The box is gonna be like as big as that radiator over there. You know what I mean? Like from floor to the top there.
Yeah, because already we know what a 10-inch pop looks like.
And the box is on those.
The box, yes, the box is 10-inch, so if it's 19-inch, it's about twice the size. It's like stacking two 10-inch pops.
Yeah.
We know that the pop isn't going to be.
And then you also gotta go out a little bit wider too.
Yeah.
Right? So.
I wonder, like a size compared. It might be like a quarter of the size, or maybe a third of the size of like, you know, those big like almost statue Funko Pops that like. Example, they had the 11 one at Fan Expo.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably going to be like a third of that, or a fourth.
I would say about a fourth, yeah.
And that is expected to be released as early as February 2020, from my understanding. Then we'll move on to the next one, which I know you were pumped about. I was pretty pumped about. Not being the greatest fan of, and I'll mention it now, Fantastic Plastic. We got ourselves a bloodied version of Monkey Assassin, the Funko Shop exclusive item of the day for September 4th. This is super cool. Usually I don't really like when they do variants, but this is a cool variant. They got this cool blood splatter. And the one thing that really stands out to me is that, like, with the white eyebrow and, like, the white around the eye, it almost looks like it has normal eyes. It's like you got the black pupil and then you have...
I never even thought of that.
So it just makes it look cool that it's, like, looks like an actual eyeball instead of your normal, like, Popeye. Louisiana Fast, or whatever you're going to say after that. And the white suit, and it's just, like, it's a very good, like, detail of blood splatter. You got, like, the sword has, like, blood on it, and not just, like, the whole sword is red. It's just, like, half of it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, when I seen this, I was pretty pumped for it, because, one, this is the better one to get over, like, the original.
Yeah.
This one looks way better. The blood looks so good on the white, and it also looks really good on, like, the brown of its, like, fur, I guess you could call it. Where, like, you don't quite see the blood as much on the fur, but then it gets on the white, and I feel like it, like, exposes the red on the brown, because you know that it's there now, basically. Like you were saying, the blood on the sword looks really good. It looks more, like, I'm glad that they didn't just do, like, half the sword straight is just red, or, like, the whole thing is just red. It actually looks like it got, like, stabbed into something or someone, and it's, like, dripping down the blade. This is a quality pop.
I feel, in my opinion, this may be my favorite Fantastic Plastic Pop
I
ever made.
I was thinking that as well.
So now, moving on, which I didn't expect these to be announced this early, we are going to talk about New York Comic Con exclusive pops. So the first one we'll talk about for New York Comic Con reveals is the Marvel lineup. So first of all, the very, 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 very highly anticipated Tony Stark with the Infinity Gauntlet, which I know for a fact that I can't go into too much detail because I'm just going to assume still haven't seen Endgame yet.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't matter. People on the internet suck. So
Okay, so I'll go into detail on that in a bit. But then after that, we got ourselves Marvel 80th Anniversary lineup for New York Comic Con. And it's a first appearance. Nick Fury. We got Captain Marvel. Not Marvel. Marvel. It's the original Captain Marvel. And then we got Ms. Marvel. And then we got ourselves Stan Lee in the spacesuit. And then we have ourselves a orange translucent Dark Phoenix pop that will be a part of a Pop and Tea combo. So Tony Stark, everybody knows that probably one of the greatest scenes in Avengers Endgame is when Tony snaps his fingers because he actually has the Infinity Gauntlet on his suit. However, there's good hype and there's a lot of bad hype because a lot of people feel that it should be more bloodied, more bruised. He should be on his knees doing it because that's when he snapped his fingers. And they feel that, like, the gauntlet is too big because the actual gauntlet that they made, what they had done was they had their own, like, fake gauntlet to kind of trick Thanos. But the actual gauntlet was within Iron Man's suit and they just put the stones in there. So then when they thought that Thanos, he goes and snaps his fingers, it doesn't work. Tony Stark does it. Boom. Done. Overall, the suit is super detailed. And obviously they could have done better, but I mean, even though it's kind of got that, or it's going to have that, like, Jim Halpert as Dwight kind of deal, where even though there is some missed details, a lot of people are going to buy this. Then for the first appearance Marvel pops, Nick Fury looks pretty cool. Actually, when I look at this Nick Fury pop, it kind of reminds me, I can't remember his name, and it's probably going to be an unanswered questions. He kind of looks like this, not mini-me when I say this. He kind of looks like that guy who kind of like is the sidekick for Dr. Evil in Austin Powers
definitely.
with the eye patch. Like exactly him. Like I thought it was him at first for some reason, even though we're in the Marvel section. But Captain Marvel is pretty cool. And then we got Ms. Marvel, which is also pretty cool. People are super hyping over Stan Lee in the spacesuit. This was, I think, a cameo appearance during the credit scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is very cool. It's cool that they're doing kind of more Stan Lee pops. I don't know how I feel about how the Dark Phoenix pop is going to turn out.
Yeah.
Because it's orange translucent. You got this like two kind of like super light orange and a dark orange translucent. I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's like with the gradient of the paint of when they do this. It's going to be weird. Obviously, I guess I can say it because it was leaked, but I guess I can't really say that. Tony Stark is going to be shared with Amazon, from what I heard. Nick Fury will be shared with EB Games GameStop. Captain Marvel will be shared with Walgreens. Ms. Marvel will be shared with the Funko Shop. Stan Lee will be shared with Walmart. And Dark Phoenix, the Pop and T bundle, will be shared with EB Games /GameStop also.
Damn. So I guess I'll go backwards again. I seem to always feel the same way about these Pop and T combos, where I love the box way more than I love the product that's inside of the box. I don't know if you noticed, but like the box actually is supposed to look like a stack of comic books.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
I didn't notice
that's
that.
one of the coolest boxes I've seen. That's really cool. But yeah, like I said, that's the best part about the whole thing. So is it worth it for the box? The shirt's kind of cool, but the pop, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe it'll turn out good. I would have to see it in like an actual photo or in real life before I decide
who knows?
whether it'd be
Hopefully
good enough to
Funko
get.
does like an unboxing on their YouTube channel or
Yeah,
something before it happens,
yeah.
like they did with SDCCC.
Mm-hmm.
I said too many C's. I just realized that.
The Stan Lee looks really good. I already have it under my wish list on the Funko app. Like you said, that's funny. Now I can't unsee Austin Powers. They're alright pops, I guess. I wouldn't get them, but that's because I also don't really collect Marvel pops. And, of course, I haven't seen Endgame, so I can't have, like, a super good opinion on this, but it does really look like Tony... It's one of the best Tony Stark heads I've seen, like, for likeness.
Yeah, a lot of people they like the hair.
Yeah. Like you said, I think it would be cooler if he was on his knees and if he had more, like, blood and bruises on him. Maybe even, like if he looked a little dirty, that'd be good. But it's still a decent pop, and yeah, I believe it probably will sell pretty well.
Okay, so the next, I think it's 9 pops I got listed because I made the collage for this. So we got ourselves for Pop Rocks, Pop Icons, and Pop Movies. We got ourselves, first, from the Pop Rocks lineup, it's Debbie Harry from the band Blondie, except I think this version is not when she's in Blondie. Then we got ourselves from the Pop Icons lineup, we have Edgar Allan Poe with the book, in which, I should have mentioned Debbie Harry, she'll be shared with FYE, and I guess Edgar Allan Poe is supposedly being shared with Books A Million. Makes sense because the other exclusive with the Raven is also being an exclusive to Books A Million, so might as well bring both of them to the same place. Then we got ourselves more from the Pop Icons lineup. We have Jean-Michel Basquiat, which is a graffiti artist. At first, I thought this was going to be a con exclusive because there's no limited edition, like saying on the bottom, like they have for all the rest of them. But they don't have a number limited either, so maybe they haven't really decided yet. Then we got Keith Haring, which is kind of more of like a comic doodle kind of artist. So that's part of the Pop Icons lineup too. Then starting with the Pop Movies, we have a 2-pack of Bluntman and Chronic, aka Jay and Silent Bob. I think this is made for the upcoming Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which is why they have these pops coming out. Then we got from the movie Dune, it is Fade Rotha, which you can kind of tell with the face. The actor who played this specific character is Sting from The Police.
Oh, okay, I do see that. You know who I thought it was? I'll give you one guess.
I don't know. I can't think.
David Spade.
David Spade. Then we got ourselves from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's Slim. Then one that I was super hyped about is the Marty McFly in hazmat suit as part of Back to the Future. Then the last Pop Movies lineup that we have here is Dr. Frank Poole from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Debbie Harry, I guess it's pretty cool. I mean, I kind of wish there's a different Pop Rocks. I mean, I guess Debbie Harry's fine. It's just one of those random Pop Rocks type deals, just like Luke Spiller or whatever his name was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just one of those random ones, I feel. But people are hyping over this, so I guess it's not so random. Edgar Allan Poe with the book. The Raven one is better.
Yeah, I don't see
in
a
my
point
opinion.
of this one.
They should have made the Raven one Comic-Con,
Mm-hmm.
and then this one an exclusive. Jean-Michel Basquiat. I think that's how you pronounce his name because it's more French.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. He's all slicked. I not noticed now, but I realized like he's not wearing any shoes. He's barefooted.
Yeah. He's a graffiti artist, you said?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's because I had to do my research. I think
Oh.
he's a graffiti artist.
I thought he was a musician.
No, he's a graffiti artist. I like his hair. It's pretty cool. Keith Haring, which kind of looks like Bill Murray to me. I noticed actually, and I searched it up. One of his like famous pieces of art is actually what that logo is on a shirt with like the face. That's one of his like famous doodle arts, and he's got like a paintbrush and looks like it's a cup full of paint in his one hand. The shoes are pretty cool. The Blunt Man and Chronic 2-pack, with the fact that Funko is starting to like actually add like mentions of marijuana to their Funko Pops, this kind of gives me hope that they'll get the license for Trailer Park Boys soon.
Yeah.
I thought they would not do Trailer Park Boys because of the fact of marijuana and all that. But I mean, these are pretty cool, not knowing what they are. Like, I know who they are, but I don't know Blunt Man and Chronic specifically. It kind of looks like Blunt Man's jacket, his purple jacket, is kind of like metallic-y.
Yeah,
from what I'm looking at. Chronic looks cool. Then we got the Dune Pop. It's super basic.
Yeah.
The only thing is just like that kind of outfit he's wearing. Kind of looks like a Buzz Lightyear and Star Command logo.
Yeah, it really does, yeah.
Type dealio, except one color. It's kind of boring to me. The Slim Pop is super detailed. Like, this is creepy as heck. Like, luckily I didn't get nightmares over this, but, like, wow, this is very detailed. The gun's pretty cool. Just the face in general is very, very detailed. A lot of people are saying, like, wow, I can't believe such an underrated movie is getting a pop, which now gives me hopes of Small Soldiers, because we always think that's, like, all the fans, like, level of hypeness over this being an underrated movie getting a pop is, like, our hypeness for Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
Back to the Future is definitely my favorite movie pop that they announced for this. I don't know if they're announcing more, considering I know for a fact they're not finished with NYCC pops yet.
Yeah, definitely not.
I love this. The first thing, and I even sent it to you, that the first thing I said is, I am Darth Vader from the planet Falcon. That's literally what this is from. This is from the very first movie where Marty goes back into the 50s, and essentially he's at his dad's house, and his dad won't go to the dance with what would be his mom, Lorraine, or he's supposed to like ask her out, but he's too chicken to. And essentially, because he reads comic books and all that, Marty takes the hazmat suit that he wore at the beginning of the movie to get back into time, and he's all like, my name is Darth Vader, and I am from the planet Falcon. And then like the next day he goes up to Marty and he's just like, Darth Vader told me that if I don't ask Lorraine out to the dance, he's gonna melt my brains. It's a funny scene in the movie, so I'm really hyped for this pop. They're actually, which I'm not going to discuss about it, but then we got the 2001 A Space Odyssey, which I never seen the movie, which actually, I don't know why, but I thought this movie was made in 2001, but it's actually made in 1968.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I don't really know what to say about that, so.
Yeah, Space Odyssey pop, it's alright. I mean, I guess if you're a big fan, it might be a decent pop to get. To me, it kind of looks just like any of the other pops with like a hazmat type astronaut suit. Like, it kind of reminds me of Joyce and Hopper in their, like, exclusive hazmat suit ones from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The Back to the Future pop is cool. It's one that I wouldn't really expect, I guess, to see, so it's nice to see. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a really cool one. Like you said, very detailed. Maybe we'll see the other two clowns eventually in their own, maybe a 2-pack or something, because there are 3 clowns, I believe, like, in the movie.
I haven't seen the movie, so.
Yeah, neither have I, but I'm pretty sure there's 3 clowns. The Dune one, like you said, it's very plain. I feel like it's probably the worst pop of the month. I don't think there's any that'd be any worse than this one, because there's just nothing going on with it, really, at all. Jay and Silent Bob, Blunt Man and Chronic. This is really cool, and like you said, it does kind of give hopes for, like, Trailer Park Boys being announced one day, but at the same time, like, if you look at the marijuana leaf on his jacket there, I don't know if it's actually accurate to, like, his actual attire, but it only has 5 leaves on it, whereas an actual marijuana leaf has 7 leaves. Like, petals, I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they did that for the reason of it, like, them not trying to, like, make it actually look like weed.
Yeah.
Or if that's just how it's supposed to be. But I love this 2-pack. Do you know where this is supposed to be shared?
These will be supposedly shared with FYE.
Okay. If these are shared with FYE, will we get these at Sunrise or no?
Either Sunrise or actually Toys R Us. Toys R Us have been getting Target and FYE
Right.
pops for us Canadians. So I'm actually going to be going to Toys R Us after I probably visit either EB or Hot Topic the day I go for NYCC Pops.
Okay. And then you said his name's Keith Harry?
Keith Haring.
Haring.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of do like this pop. You can kind of tell that he's an artist. Even without that in his hand, like, he just has that look, sort of. I don't know whether it's, like, the shirt tucked into, like, the pants or, like... I don't know. He just gives that vibe of being an artist. So that's cool. The what did you say, Michel? Is that what you said?
I would assume it's Michel.
Michel Basquiat. It's a cool looking pop. I do like this one, even though I'm unfamiliar with the person. But it does look good. It's cool how he's got no shoes on, I guess. He kind of looks like The Weeknd. Do you know?
I know of The Weeknd.
Okay, you don't know what he looks like. It kind of looks like The Weeknd to me. And then, like you said with the Edgar Allan Poe, I don't see any reason for this. Give us a different author or something who we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And then Debbie Harry, yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, when you think of pop rocks, like, Blondie would definitely not be one of the first choices. I'd be like, ooh, maybe this will eventually get a pop.
Yeah.
But I'll probably still pick it up to add to the pop rocks lineup. I do enjoy some Blondie music, so it's not bad.
Alright, so now we're going to move on to, there'll be 6 pops on your screen, the pop television lineup, and we'll start off with one that MD will enjoy very much, and as you can see on the bottom right corner, these will be shared with Toy Tokyo. It says right in the photo also. We got ourselves HR Puff and Stuff Pops. We got ourselves Kling, Witchy Poo, and Clang. Then, to add to the pop television lineup, well, it's more of Hanna-Barbera lineup for this one, we have ourselves Clyde and Professor Pat Pennington. Or no, it's just Penning, or Pending, or whatever his name is. This is the Wacky Races from Hanna-Barbera. Then we got ourselves Britta from Community. A lot of people were hyped over this. Then we got Zimshaw from Doctor Who. We got ourselves a 2-pack of Green Hornet and Kato from the Green Hornet series. And last but not least, we have ourselves Missandei from Game of Thrones. HR Puff and Stuff Pops look pretty cool. I kind of recognize these characters now because my, like, grandma had these, like, toys, I think it was, where it was, like, they had these faces on. And I'm pretty sure it's HR Puff and Stuff. It's either that or Fraggler Rock for some reason. It's like these
What'd you
weird...
call it?
HR Puff and Stuff.
No, the other one.
Fraggler Rock.
Fraggler Rock?
Fraggler Rock.
Fraggle Rock?
That's what I said. Anyways, they look pretty cool. On to the Wacky Races. Those are also detailed. The Professor Pat Pending, that's the name, looks pretty cool. It reminds me of some sort of, like, Doc Brown-esque character. And then you got...
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. I forget what pop it is that we talk about later on, but it kind of does look like Danny DeVito. I forget what it was, but there was a pop that I'm like, man, that looks like Danny DeVito. Then we got Community. I don't really know much about the TV show. This is just some sort of generic character. It's hard to explain about just a human pop. Then we got Zimshaw, which looks like he's got like a bunch of teeth on his face. That's what it looks like. The suit is just like some sort of dark black color. And then we got the Kato and Green Hornet 2-pack, in which I honestly... This is a very boring 2-pack because they have done so many Green Hornet 2-packs.
Yeah.
And it's essentially the same exact one, like with the mask and everything, except it's a different pose. So I think it's like once again a waste of a 2-pack and waste of an exclusive. And then we got the Game of Thrones pop, which people are like hyping over. Not so much, but there are some characters left over that people want Funko to make, but I don't really know what to say because once again, Game of Thrones. So
yeah, of course I'm pumped for the HR Puff and Stuff Pops. I'm not surprised about these announcements because I believe... Does Witchy Poo have a pop Pez?
I don't know.
I don't think so, actually. But I know that Kling and Clang both already have a pop Pez, which got announced, like, I would say, like, almost, like, 4 months ago now. Maybe even longer than that. Maybe at, like, the beginning of the year. So, to see them in pop form now is not a huge surprise because, obviously, they already had ideas for that with the Pez being made first, which I find kind of weird. But I am very pumped for these pops. I guess you're right, they kind of do look like Fraggles a little bit. And then the Wacky Racer pops, they're cool. They're not too bad. I kind of think that the taller one there kind of looks like Gene Wilder a bit.
Willy Wonka?
Yeah. The one from Community, like you said, it's a generic body. If you're collecting Community pops, then it's obviously one you're going to want to have. I do like the show. The Doctor Who one, I don't know how I feel about this. At first I loved it, because, like, all these teeth look so cool on the face like that. But then the body is just, like, it almost looks like a prototype body. Like, unpainted.
Yeah, except it's black.
Yeah.
Because prototypes would be white.
Most of the time, yes. You pretty much summed up the Green Hornet pops quite well. They're unnecessary. Kind of a waste. And then the Game of Thrones one. The hair looks actually really cool. I kind of really like the hair on this pop, but that's about all I have to say about it.
Okay, so the next couple, so announced on the same day except, or actually no, it's announced the next day, sorry. We have ourselves, first, it'll be all in a collage, but we have a previews exclusive Batwoman pop, and then announced after the New York Comic Con exclusive pops that were announced that same day, we have ourselves the Hot Topic exclusive pops of the month, which first we got ourselves Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco.
That's my first time seeing that. I love it.
Coraline in Raincoat. This is the Diamond Collection version because there's already a normal one. We got a Pop Deluxe of Elvira.
Ooh.
Which she's laying on the couch. And then, as a part of the It Chapter 2 collector's box, we have the Dead Lights Pennywise.
I seen one of these for sale the other day on Facebook.
I like the Batwoman. The Batwoman's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The one thing I really like is, like, the hair, like,
how
the fact...
it drapes over?
Yeah, it can drape over. It's not just they wanted it perfectly neat. Like,
yeah.
It's pretty cool. And even, like, the logo on the chest is just not your normal, like, Bat logo. It's kind of hard to see the super amount of detail in the boots and, like, the gloves and that. You can kind of see it, but not really. If they added, like, some sort of darker color, just, like, show that little detail. That would have been cool. And then you got, like, the boomerang in her hand. Then moving on to the Brendan Urie pop. I've only listened to a bit of Panic at the Disco. I like the gold jacket, and it looks like it's a gold microphone.
Yeah, it does look like that, yeah.
And then the Coraline in Raincoat Diamond Collection. It's pretty cool. I like how the yellow is with the glittery effect, and same with the blue hair. The Elvira Pop Deluxe is pretty cool. I think that's available now, actually, at Hot Topic.
Oh, damn.
I think
okay.
it got released yesterday as we film this. And then moving on to the Dead Lights Pennywise, which I've seen a couple times, like, in videos, especially Top Ops recently did an unboxing of this It Chapter 2 collector's box. The Dead Lights is pretty cool. It's a significant part of It Chapter 2, and I know that especially because I did go see the movie this past week.
Well, I thought this was a Demogorgon. I didn't realize you were talking about It.
Yeah, that's...
No, I'm just kidding. Oh. But yeah, the It one does look like a Demogorgon in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this pop. I mean, I guess if it is a significant part of the movie, then it makes sense, but it's weird. I don't know. Elvira, I really like this. I'll probably end up picking this up at Hot Topic, especially if it goes on for like the buy one, get one 30% off pops or whatever. You know how they do that for like the deluxe
Yeah,
pops
I think
sometimes?
so. Yeah.
I'll probably pick it up when they do something like that. The Coraline looks alright. It's definitely a decent one to do for the Diamond Collection. It's just weird though, because like I would like to see more Disney pops get Diamond Collection, because that's where it started, right? The Diamond Collection started with a bunch of Disney pops, and now they're kind of like swaying away from Disney. But I feel like there's a few more characters that I'd like to see Diamond that like could kind of use it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to see this one in Diamond Collection, but that's okay. The Brendan Urie one, I really like. I will be picking this up, of course, because I eventually want to have a full Pop Rocks collection, which is going to take forever. But I actually am a pretty decent fan of Brendan Urie. I actually like him featured on other songs more than I like him, like, in his own music. Like, he's got a song with Lonely Island called YOLO, and then he's in, like, Little Dicky's song Molly. And I do like how this pop looks, too. It's pretty cool. And I'm glad to see that there's some love for him there. And then, of course, Batwoman, you said? Yeah, this one, it's cool, but it kind of, like, especially looking at the left hand with the Batarang in it, it all being one solid color makes it seem so much more like it's just one piece of plastic, which it is. But normally when you see someone holding something, you get the illusion that they're actually holding that thing. Whereas with this one, it just looks like almost like a vintage McDonald's toy, where it's just one solid color.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The hair, the head sculpt on this pop is definitely the best part of the pop.
All right, moving on to what would be the New York Comic Con exclusive pops for that same day that those pops that we just talked about were announced. So we kind of got a mixture of stuff going on. New York Comic Con really didn't get like announced in like separate sections like SDCC. Like, you know that this is a game section, this is the rock section or whatever. So the first one we got, I think actually in the collage also, there is a Funko Shop exclusive item that isn't a New York Comic Con pop. But so for New York Comic Con, we have ourselves first the Freddy Funko as policeman. We have a different version of Babe Ruth. Then we have from the Ad Icons lineup, this is the same thing they did with the SDCC Toucan, but they have the NYCC Pigeons, which there are 3 of them. We have ourselves one in a black jersey, or not jersey,
This is Ad Icons?
yeah, it definitely would be an Ad Icon, because they did the Toucan.
That was Ad Icons as well?
Yeah, that was an Ad Icon.
I don't know how I feel about that.
But yeah, so we got the pigeon in the black attire, pigeon in the red attire, and the pigeon in the like blue and white like jersey type attire. Then we have very, very hyped My Hero Academia. So this is the pop animation lineup. We have, I don't know if this is Dabby or Dobby, how it's pronounced, but there's that. And we have Killer Stain, or it's called Hero Killer, or it's actually, I think Funko is doing a giveaway with that right now.
Bless my sneezings.
Yeah, so I think Funko's doing a giveaway with that right now, and I think the box says Hero Killer Stain, so they kind of mixed all 3 names into it. Then from the Harry Potter lineup, we have a 6-inch Madame Maxine, and we have Filch with Mrs. Norris the cat, which is pretty cool. Then we have limited to 1,500 pieces, so obviously that means it will be only exclusive at the con, is a pink chrome Batman pop. And we have another one from the Pop Heroes lineup. It's Huntress. And last but not least, we have more Ad Icon pops of Pez. So we got ourselves another version, a green version actually, of Mimic the Monkey. And we have a blonde version of the Pez Girl. So obviously, starting off with the Officer Freddy. It's kind of cool that they're kind of doing something like this. I like the detail that on the hat it says NYPD.
Oh, yeah.
On the crown. A lot of people pointed that out. Coffee cup says F for Funko or Freddy or one of the two. Everyone knows New York for like their police officers and stuff. Usually a lot of TV shows, they always call the NYPD. All that. So it's cool that they're doing like kind of that kind of dealio for Freddy Funko. This Babe Ruth I like almost better than the original one, just for the fact that it's got like a baseball plate and it's got some like the sand that's with it also. And it looks like he just hit a home run in this one. Not a fan of like the mascots for the conventions. I mean, I like the toucan, but the NYCC pigeons are just so like, they got some detail, but they're kind of like simplistic, boring detail in my opinion. The My Hero Academia ones are super, super detailed. I can see why a lot of people are hyping over it, even fans that don't like watch My Hero Academia at all. The Dobby's pretty cool with like the blue flames and that, and like the purple like, I don't even know what to call that, but the hair's cool. I was more like, I like the detail, like personal reaction wise, on Killer Stain, because it's got like the teeth and the tongue. It's got the white eyes with like this black kind of like eyeshadow background, and then with that like kind of bandana over it makes it look so cool. And then the hair is really cool, and it's kind of like got these 2 like daggers that are also cool. I don't know what's on the ground there, whether it's like part of his like red, like looks like another like bandana type thing. The Harry Potter ones, I'm not really the biggest fan of like this lineup specifically. Like I think we've seen like better Harry Potter pops. However, I do like the Filch with Mrs. Norris. I think that one's going to be a pretty big seller as terms to Harry Potter pops. And then Madame Maxine, I can't even remember where she was. I think she was involved in some sort of romantic type dealio with Hagrid, because they're both like giants or whatever. I think at this point, if you've listened to this podcast for however long, you usually know that probably MD and I won't have some sort of opinion over Chrome Pops. Huntress is pretty cool. The purple, that's a nice shading of purple. I like the crossbow, or I would say it's a crossbow, that she's got in her hand. Yep. Pretty cool. Purple and white cape that I noticed on there. For the Mimic the Monkey and the Pez Girl, I kind of almost like this version of Mimic the Monkey better than the original one that was announced, I think it was last month. But I like the original Pez Girl better than the one they're displaying here for New York Comic Con. I don't exactly know why off the top of my head. I know for Mimic the Monkey, though, I like this contrasting colors of green, yellow, and red. Those are some nice colors, while the original one is like this like aqua, like pukey green color with like a blue attire, and it's just like 2 like dark, This one just has some vibrant colors that just like makes it stand out.
Yeah, I feel like they're pushing out too many Pez Pops too quickly. You know what I mean? Like, how many do we have now in total? Like, 8 different Pez Pops, I would say, about now?
No, I think there's
7?
6. Because 2 Peter Pez's, 2 Mimic Monkeys, and 2 Pez Girls.
Is there only 2 Peter Pez? I thought there was more than that.
No, there's only 2. There's like the one they just announced a month ago and then the SDCC one.
Okay. Still, I feel like this could have waited a little bit, but I guess it makes sense to do it at New York Comic Con. What did you say this character was?
That is Huntress.
Huntress, right. This looks really cool. I mean, I could be slightly biased because, again, my favorite color is purple. But it is cool how the cape does have, like... I wonder if the back of the cape is fully white, or if it's just, like, the sides of the cape have that white strip
true.
down it. All the colors look really nice on this, though. It's a nice-looking pop. It's a solid pop. The Chrome Batman. As much as I don't like Chrome Pops, I do like this one a little bit. Not enough to get, and obviously since it's limited to 1,500 pieces, it's like almost impossible to obtain this pop, at least at a good price. So definitely not worth it. I don't know how Chrome Pops can become so expensive. It makes no sense. I don't see why people want Chrome Pops so bad. Eventually I'm sure one will slip into my collection, but it probably will not be that one. The Harry Potter Pops, they always do good on the Harry Potter Pops, and obviously they're going to sell well because it's Harry Potter. And then with the My Hero Academia ones, I feel like with looking at these pops, I almost want to start watching the show. I really love the second one here. What you said it was?
That was Hero Killer or Killer Stain. Yeah, Killer Stain. One of Hero Killer Stain.
Hero Killer Stain. Yeah, it was. I forgot what name you said they went with. I really love how this one turned out. The mouth looks wicked. That's definitely the part that pops out at me the most. No pun intended. The other one's alright as well. Definitely a lot of detail going into it. I could see why there's so much hype over these. I know that there's a lot of My Hero Academia fans out there, so it makes sense to keep pushing out more pops. And then with the pigeons, I do kind of like the pigeons. The one that stands out the most to me is the blue one with the baseball-like jersey on.
Yeah.
As much as I kind of do like the black one, I feel like the blue and white one just... I wouldn't mind having that pop, I guess. And then the Babe Ruth one is definitely the better of the Babe Ruth pop. What is this, the third Babe Ruth pop? Or is it the second?
I think it's the second.
Second? Okay. It's cool because he's got the pose and he's got the stand, but they've kind of all been doing that, which kind of is bland to me. But it still does look really cool. And something I noticed with this Babe Ruth pop, and the other one for that matter, is that face reminds me of those characters from The Big Comfy Couch. They're almost identical. That's so funny. Ugly ass Babe
It's
Ruth.
the Big Bambino.
Last but not least, certainly not least, is the police officer Freddy. This is a solid pop. I know I've said that a few times, but I put emphasis on that S there, because this is a really good pop. I love how you have those slight details with the lettering on the cup and on the crown of the hat. And I also love that he's, like, waving, so he looks like a nice, like, police officer. They didn't make him look kind of, like, hostile, or hostile, I guess. Hostile. This might be one of the first Funko Freddys that I pick up, depending on, like, is this being shared anywhere, or is it just at the con?
It's unknown yet. It's one of the ones that, like, finally Funko realized, oh crap, we're accidentally leaking where these are being shared. I am going to be doing a video, most likely, on me predicting where these pops are going to be going. And it'll be featured on this channel, so stay tuned for that. Unless they announce them by the time I go do the video. But most likely I'm going to be doing a predicting video where these pops are going. For most of them anyways. Before we move on to more NYCC pops. The Funko Shop exclusive blood-splattered Funhouse Pennywise. Obviously announced on September 6th. And it was released that day at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST. I'm going to say this is my favorite Pennywise pop they made, and it's for the simple fact that when we discussed about these on the podcast a couple months ago, my favorite common was the Funhouse one with the tongue sticking out like as you see, but my favorite exclusive was the Hot Topic exclusive where it had the exact same blood pattern, and I think like the teeth were the same, and he was holding a skateboard. This is essentially mashing both of them together, except there's no skateboard, but I just love the blood. That's what I kind of hoped there was on the original Funhouse one, was blood splatter, but they actually added it and made their own exclusive out of it, which I find it pretty cool. I like this one. This is a pretty cool pop.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that really stands out to me is the clear, like, drool in the
Yeah,
mouth.
that's, I think, a huge reason why I like the Funhouse one.
Yeah,
Just
this
that
is
little
this is
added
a
detail.
solid. I've been saying solid too much, but this is definitely a solid It Pop because I don't really like the It Pops that much because they make so many of them and they're kind of very similar to me as much as they are different. But if I were to pick up an It Pop, I feel like this one might be the one.
Now moving on to more NYCC pops. This has been a mix of TV, movies, video games, animation. It's just, once again, kind of all over the place. But starting off with one that I know you're going to talk about, and that is Susie from Stranger Things. We got this one I might be talking about. It's Baseball Fury from The Warriors, which, as you can see on the bottom right corner, this will be shared with Toy Tokyo. From Borderlands, we have got ourselves Butt Stallion. From Fortnite, we have a glow-in-the-dark version of Dark Voyager. From Avatar The Last Airbender, we have Cabbage Man with its cart. We have from Daria, Daria. That's a Pop TV, I'm pretty sure. Then we have a 2-pack of Aku and Samurai Jack from the self-titled animation Samurai Jack. This one I was pumped to see. It is Dwight Schrute with his bobblehead, which I got quite a bit to talk about this. And then one I feel like you might have a conversation about is the new 6-inch Biohazard Wrecking Ball from Overwatch. Starting out with Susie from Stranger Things. I was kind of happy, but I was kind of disappointed at the same time for this announcement, just for the fact that I kind of wanted Murray, aka Bald Eagle.
Yeah!
I kind of wanted a Bald Eagle pop. Except I know for a fact that when I did see this, I was all like, never ending story. The Warriors, oh my. The Warriors lineup gives me hope for, if obviously, for those who know me very well, one of my top licensors that I want Funko to make is the Outsiders.
I thought for sure that's what
And
you were gonna say.
essentially, the Warriors is basically the same thing, except kind of different. I remember I got into the Warriors. I haven't seen the movie, but I played the video game
which
for
is
the original
an outstanding
Xbox.
game, yes.
And I can also tell it was also an outstanding game since it was made by Rockstar Games.
Yeah.
So, creators of Grand Theft Auto. I love... It kind of reminds me, the head sculpt, besides like the hat, it kind of reminds me of Paul Stanley, the way that they made it.
Yeah, it kind of does look like Paul Stanley now that I think about it.
I think it's got even the same hair. It might have been like the same like mold. They just took Paul Stanley and made it like that, except they added a hat possibly. Like obviously it's a baseball fury, so baseball jersey. It's got the bat, like it's in the pose like he's ready to just like beat someone up with the bat.
Yeah.
The sneakers are really cool, like detailed. It's just not like one color. I don't know how I feel about it being Toy Tokyo though, because especially if Toy Tokyo is starting to like sell their pops online via like a bundle, then it's like, do I really have to get like I mean, for your case, let's say if you're a fan of this, then there's the HR Puff and Stuff ones that are also Toy Tokyo. And
Yeah.
it's like you can get all of them, but for someone who might just want the Warriors, it's like, do I really need the HR Puff and Stuff ones just to get this one? I mean, you could wait till the con, but how much will it sell at a con though?
But then, that being said, we could possibly also go in on the bundle and split it likewise, right?
True. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it though yet.
Yeah.
But it is like a possibility. But Butt Stallion. Butt Stallion.
Use it, but.
I want to see how this pop actually turns out, just because of the way like it looks almost like a diamond. It's like got this crystal effect.
Yeah, I want to know if it's clear. If this is a clear pop.
And it's got like this not diamond collection specifically glittery feel, but if like it looks like you're actually holding a diamond.
Yeah, look,
so to speak.
the glam shot looks very nice on this.
They made the glam shot very presentable. And speaking of Borderlands, I think the third game just came out like today.
Today,
if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised, yeah.
I think it's today or yesterday, one of the two. And then the blue, like this almost the gradient paint of like dark blue to light blue.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. There's kind of like purple there too, but I don't know if it's like once again like the whole lighting situation that they always do, or if there's like purple added to this. The Dark Voyager, I kind of think I don't understand what Funko is doing with like re-releasing previous characters and just making them glow in the dark. They already did it with Loot Llama. They're doing it with, or they did it with the Rex one, and there's another Skull Trooper they did glow in the dark.
Yeah.
I just find, unless there's only that select amount of characters, I can't really think, because I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know all the characters. But
There's tons and tons of characters.
But, I mean, it does look like if it glows in the dark, it's going to be, like, green instead of, like, the gray that it is, and, like, the orange is going to be, like, yellow, which I guess is kind of cool, but that's a pass for me. A bunch of people are hyping over Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially Rye the Pop guy was talking about how, like, this is from a scene where I guess, like, he's carrying a cabbage in the cart, like, up a hill or something, and, like, they fall out, and he's like, no, my cabbage! Like, I guess that's where from that scene is. The detail in just the cabbage itself is, like...
Yeah, pretty freaking good.
Yeah, that's pretty good for, like, just, like, small little, like, items in that. I'm curious whether, like, this will be, like, a Pop Deluxe because there's, like, an item with it, or it's just, like, how small the cart's going to be, if it's going to be just your normal 3.75-inch pop.
Yeah.
Or if it's a two... People thought it's going to be a 2-pack, but for some reason, I don't think it's going to be a 2-pack, or else it would say in the photo that it's going to be a 2-pack.
Yeah.
Like they did with the Bluntman and Chrono.
But then I think it would also say the same thing for Deluxe, because that's what it said with the Elvira. So I don't know. It's a weird thing, and maybe we'll see a new sized box that we've never seen before.
Yeah, maybe. And the Daria, I did my research on Daria. It basically looks almost identical to the cartoon or animation itself. I see this being a pretty big seller, but I don't know, maybe potentially not a shelf sitter, but like it'll take a bit for them to actually sell out of these.
The Darias?
Yeah, depending on where it is.
Yeah, depending on where it is, that's for sure. I feel like it might actually sell well, because I know that there's like I wouldn't say a huge like cult following for Daria, but definitely for like people our age to, I'd say about 29, let's say, like Daria hits home for a lot of people.
Yeah,
so.
The show came out in 97 and ended in 02, so. And the Samurai Jack pops... That Aku character, speaking of 2-pack, that's probably what I was thinking of when they would say 2-pack, because it does say 2-pack in the glam shot.
Yeah.
I like the detail in this Aku character. It's not your normal, like, pop character. Like, it doesn't have the pop head or even, like, a pop body, per se. It's got these, like, cool teeth that are not, like, normal human teeth. And it's got these, like, flaming eyebrows, which is pretty cool. And overall, that character itself is pretty cool. Samurai Jack is obviously, it's probably a must for the TV show. Dwight with the bobblehead, this is nuts. I'm like, what? The one big thing that I think a lot of people are hyping over is that, like, even though this is once again another Dwight pop, this is a Dwight that isn't in its normal stance. They changed the pose of this Dwight, and I think the biggest question in every person's mind is, does the bobblehead bobble? Is there going to be a spring in the bobblehead and it's going to bobble? That's, I think, the biggest question. If it ends up, somehow I find out before the end of the month, if it does bobble, it could potentially be in the top 3, in my top 3 for the September 2019 list when we do it on part 2 of September's podcast. Either way, I'm obviously still going to get it because Dwight's my favorite character in The Office. So I'm planning to get all the Dwight Schrute pops that there are for the Office set. And yeah, great job, Funko, on this one. The Overwatch, the 6-inch Wrecking Ball. Actually, I've mentioned a couple times that when I played Overwatch, I think once or twice, that my favorite character using was Wrecking Ball. It's very easy to use because you roll up in a ball and then you shoot out from the, I think there's like guns. Yeah, there's guns on here. I like the color scheme on this one better than the original one. Like the way this like orangey yellow type goes with like the black and this like neon lime green goes very well. There are a lot of people who don't like pops that are a different like color from the normal one, different color variant. But I think Rye the Pop guy said it best, is that Overwatch, like it makes sense for Overwatch because, and I think you would agree that it makes sense for Overwatch because there are skins in the game. Mm-hmm. So it makes perfect sense that there would be different colors because there would be skins in the game. I don't know. I might buy this. Who knows? Might be my first Overwatch pop. Who knows? I really like this.
It's good to hear.
I guess, yeah, you would have to start out with the Overwatch pop since you always go backwards.
Sure. So, yeah, I actually haven't seen this skin in-game. I haven't been playing Overwatch. I've been so stuck on Rocket League and recently GTA even I've been playing. But yeah, this Overwatch one's not bad for sure. I like Hammond or Wrecking Ball, whatever you want to call him. I do agree with you that this one is better than the original. I love the colorway on this. It looks nice. It would be cool if it was glow in the dark, like on like maybe just the green parts that are in the like actual wrecking ball part, instead like maybe not the Hammond, the hamster himself. But yeah, I do really like that pop, and of course I'll probably end up getting it just to add to my ever-growing Overwatch collection. The Office pop of Dwight with the bobblehead, super cool. That would be really wicked if the thing did bobble. I'm thinking that it probably won't, just because that's...
They would have to produce like the tiniest spring ever to do that kind of a bobble for like that small of a head.
Yeah, that it would be a little bit like not expensive, but it would be like a higher price point on producing the pop itself because of that, and very tedious for something that like some people might not care even if it does bobble. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if it does, definitely wicked, and kudos to Funko if it does. So that would be really nice to see. The Samurai Jack 2-pack, I popped hard when I seen this. I really love this. I'm definitely going to be obtaining this into my collection. I hope we see a lot more Adult Swim pops, or like Cartoon Network pops.
True.
Like we've seen Powerpuff Girls. Like let's see Courage the Cowardly Dog. Let's see... Is there a pop for Dexter's Laboratory? I don't think there is there?
Nope, there's not that, and a lot of people, and it's one of the most hyped Cartoon Network. Like,
Ed, and Eddie?
No, Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
A lot of people want Johnny Bravo. I see.
Johnny Bravo would be so sick. Hey, pretty mama. Daria, I will definitely be getting this one as well. It's a spot on pop, or like I like to call them, perfect pops. Where it just, there's nothing wrong with the pop. It's exactly what it needs to be, and it's exactly what it is. The Avatar one, I am curious about this, about how they're going to package this. I probably won't get it, but if I have the chance, I'll probably buy one for my buddy Sean, because I know he is an avid collector of Avatar. Then, with the Dark Voyager, I don't know how I feel about the way it glows. It's weird seeing that green color, because I don't remember him ever glowing like that. But this pop makes sense to glow because those orange pieces on him do glow in game.
Okay.
So it makes sense for this to be glow in the dark. But to have it be yellow and green like that just is really weird. I don't know why. Maybe they changed something with the game since I've last played where it can glow like that in like different areas of the map or something. But I don't know. That's interesting. I'd like to see the actual glow in real life. And then there's Borderland ones with, what is it? Butt
Stallion.
Butt Stallion, okay. This is a cool looking pop. I really hope it's all clear and like actually looks like a crystal like that, because this glam shot is gorgeous. I love this. I might even consider getting this pop, especially if I end up getting Borderlands 3 and liking the game, then it would definitely be a higher chance of me getting this pop. Then the Warriors one, like you said, this is really cool. It does look like Paul Stanley a lot. It's like if Babe Ruth, Paul Stanley, and Two-Face all had a baby. It's this character here. It's cool. I might even consider getting this pop as well. And then on to Susie. This is a pop where I think even before we seen the Alexi and Robin, I thought, a Susie pop would be cool, but she's such, for now at least, my prediction is in Season 4, she'll definitely be in the season more than she was in Season 3.
Yeah.
She's just such a background character that I was like, we're probably not going to see a pop of Susie, and I would be perfectly fine with that. But seeing it is really cool. But, like you said, not seeing Murray is also like, because Murray, even in Season 2, like, I fell in love with Murray real quick. He's an awesome character.
Yeah.
And, like, how his storyline progressed in Season 3 is just really cool as well. So, I don't know why they haven't done a Murray pop yet. But maybe they're just thinking, maybe they have it planned for a different kind of exclusive, or for another common set, possibly, if they're going to do one more set for Season 3. I don't know. I would like to see a Season 2 Murray, though. Like a version of Season 2 Murray.
Okay.
Like, I would like to see both. One for Season 2 and one for Season 3. But this Susie is another one of those pops where it's like, okay, this is another perfect pop. There's nothing you could change about it. There's nothing you could... It's exactly what it needs to be, and it's exactly what it is, like I said before.
All right.
Very good set. All of these, what was it, 7 pops that we just went through? Maybe 8 or 9?
No, I think it's 9.
9? They're all, like, at least an 8 on my scale.
All right, so taking a break for, well, mostly a break from NYCC, some of these we've got ourselves, first of all, you'll see 6 pops, one of them being an NYCC reveal. We got ourselves a DesignerCon exclusive Mark Hamill pop as a part of the Icons lineup, which I feel like you'll talk about. Then from the Ad Icons lineup, the September 9th released that same day at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, exclusive of the day was Big Yella, the ad icon for Sugar Corn Pops. Then we got, which one of the lineups that a lot of people were waiting for to be announced for NYCC, it is the Dragon Ball Z lineup, and we got ourselves Final Flash Vegeta, and we got ourselves Piccolo in Lotus position. Then back to the BT21 pops that we had discussed about earlier, which there was the 7-pack that was also mentioned in this same post, but these are all the characters again, which, if you forgot the names at this point, we got Mang, Cookie, Shooky, Tata, Chimmy, Koya, and RJ. There will be all these 7 characters will be in separate form, and then there'll be a 7-pack just like actually the BTS set, I'm pretty sure. Like the Korean band.
Like, was that 7?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I think actually it's funny, the 7-pack for this and that one was also Barnes & Noble's exclusive. So.
Oh, this is also Barnes & Noble?
Yeah, the 7-pack will be a Barnes & Noble exclusive, and then them separately will be commons. They'll be released at different stores. Then we got ourselves from the Batman 80th anniversary lineup, we got ourselves Red Sun Batman, we have a Hot Topic exclusive Merciless Batman, and we got Batmite, which, as I just realized, I keep forgetting to mention when exactly these will be released. Which, the Batman set is set to be released in December 2019, and the BT21 pops are set to be released in November 2019. Then, one I feel like you might also talk about is the new wave of Spyro pops, which we got ourselves a new version of Spyro, which looks like, to me, I don't know if it's that ice or some sort of, I don't know, but there's Spyro, we got Ripto, and we got Nasty Nork in this set. The Mark Hamill pop, which will be released during DesignerCon, which is November 22nd to the 24th. Oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool that they're mentioning like more of actors instead of mostly the Icons lineup have been like
Dr. Seuss.
Authors, directors, producers, and there was Colonel Sanders. The Mark Hamill looks pretty cool. A lot of people just recognize him for Star Wars. However, he is known for portraying like the best Joker voice.
Yeah. Definitely.
In DC Comics. So that's another thing to know him by. And I guess that's all I can remember about Mark Hamill is just Star Wars and the Killing Joke.
Definitely his 2 main roles, I would say.
But yeah, it's pretty cool that he's getting one. Big Yellow is pretty cool. He's got this like mouth that is like visible but almost could be not visible. It's cool that they did a mouth because it'd be weird for a mouth not to be on a pop with like such a big jaw.
Yeah.
I like how it's kind of like super close to the nose and the eyes, and then they just got this space. It makes it very unique from different pops. Then we got the Dragon Ball Z pops, which obviously, like I've discussed many times, I never really watch Dragon Ball Z. I have seen it not a bunch of times, but a couple times. The Final Flash Vegeta, it's pretty cool. I don't think, in my opinion, from what I've seen at least, it's the best Vegeta pop. But it is a pretty cool Vegeta pop. You got like essentially this like solar beam he's creating and like the lightning around it. That's cool. This Piccolo is definitely better than the common one that they're about to release for like what we talked about for the Missed August pops, in my opinion. Because I remember Piccolo in this kind of lotus position when watching Dragon Ball Z. I like the idea of, yes, his eyes are closed, but like he's got like, there's like the little black circle to show that his eyes are closed, but it's not like they could have just done like a green paint over that and just...
Yeah.
But I like this idea that it's kind of like they do that with animations anyways when their eyes are closed. It's just like one line just to show that they're like, kind of like resting or sleeping or whatever. And like he's even got a stand so that like he's floating, which is cool. Definitely out of the 2, the Piccolo's my favorite. Then we got the BT21 pops, which never heard of BT21 in my life. I don't know what to say about these at all. The Batman 80th pops. I like the detail on the Merciless Batman, the Hot Topic exclusive, with the red eyes. It's got this like mask with like wings on its helmet. The sword is pretty cool. It's like all gold and it's got this like super amount of detail within the sword itself. Red Sun Batman kind of looks like Russian Batman to me. Kind of looks like could be Russian.
I was thinking the same thing.
Is that a camera on its? It looks like a camera of some sort. I don't know. Red Sun Batman. It's the bottom left photo.
Yeah, the Russian one. Where do you see a camera?
Like the little circle on its head.
Oh.
It looks like some sort of camera.
Like a spy cam, or like when it was zoomed out, I kind of just figured it was like a medallion, like
maybe, I don't know. And then the Batarang. If it's a Batarang, or maybe it's like those like
a grappling hook.
Yeah, it's like a grappling hook of some sort. Maybe if you're like climbing up an icy hill and you gotta like stab into the ice to climb up. That's what it kind of looks like to me.
Yeah, he's definitely straight from Russia. Holy moly.
Batmite. It's pretty cool. You can tell this is also actually a first appearance Batmite from the 1958 comics. So you can tell kind of like the detail that it's made from like the 50s. And I like the idea of like the white around the black eyes to just like separate the black color scheme. And it's got like this one like bat ear that is like folded up, and it's got the one sticking up. And the logo, how it's kind of like an electricity like lightning bolt instead of the bat logo. And then the Spyro pops. Yeah, I think that's just maybe just a normal Spyro one, because the other one has a person, if I'm not mistaken, or like a thing. The original one, you have it, right? The Spyro pop?
Yeah, the Spyro has why can't I think of the name of the character? It's the little fairy thing that you can collect.
Yeah, unanswered questions. And then we got Ripto. He's got this cool like orange scheme going on. His head kind of looks like a candy corn.
Yeah.
Just looking at it.
I never
the
noticed
teeth.
that until now.
The teeth's got a nice detail in the teeth. It's got some eyebrows. It's got this staff type thing with like a pink gem of some sort. Nasty Nork. Once again, cool detail with the teeth. It's got its own staff with like a green like emerald stone on top. It's got this like Viking type outfit. Pretty cool. Set's pretty cool.
I'm definitely getting all three of these pops. The Spyro's cool. I like how he's flying this time instead of sitting. The Ripto looks really nice. I love how the mouth is kind of like, it's open, but he's also kind of like smirking, so it kind of gives him like a mischievous grin, kind of. Of course, a lot of people might recognize him from like Ripto's Revenge, I believe is the second Spyro game to come out. The last character is also very cool as well. There's some good detail on it. Of course, you can't give it a crazy amount of detail because originally there wasn't even that much detail in Spyro characters being released on the PS1. But all three of these look really nice. They're going to look really great with my video game pops, and especially next to my other Spyro pop. So it's good to see that there's more Spyro pops coming out. All three of the Batmans are solid. Well, I mean, I guess one is Batmite. I'm actually glad to see Batmite coming out. I do really like that one. I think I like that one the most out of the set of three. And then going on to the BT-21, these are weird. I mean, I kind of like the idea of them in a sense, but I don't know if they're necessary to be pops, especially how many of them are coming out right now. Well, not right now. Well, I guess right now there's the 7-pack, plus there's the other 7, where I feel like we could just get, like, I don't know, 7 small soldier pops. That'd be cool. The Dragon Ball Z ones, I love these two because Vegeta and Piccolo are actually my two favorite characters from Dragon Ball Z. And these are two poses on these characters that we haven't seen before in pop design. So it's good to see that. I will also be getting these. Let me tell you, this first half of the month has a lot of good pops that I'm going to want. I'm excited to see what's in the second half, but I can just imagine how hard it will be to make a top 10 list at the end of this month, because there's a lot of good stuff right now, at least in my opinion. Going on to more good stuff is the Sugar Corn Pops Big Yella. I love this. Corn Pops was my favorite cereal for many, many years of my childhood, so it's really cool to see this come out. I didn't even think of that as an ad icon, so it's cool to see Big Yella. And then the Mark Hamill is really cool as well. It looks good. It looks just like him. He's in like a... I don't know how to explain his pose. He's like casual, and then also like... It's weird that they went with like the older version of Mark Hamill for this pop. You know what I mean? Instead of doing like a young Mark Hamill. But I guess it's because like that's a spitting image of Mark Hamill. That's exactly what he looks like right now. So that's also a very well done pop. I'm glad to see more icons coming out because ad icons and icons are two sets that I like seeing because they're so refreshing for pops, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alright, moving on. More New York Comic Con pops. It is the Disney and the Disney Pixar set, which a lot of people have been waiting for the last week for. Everyone's asking, where are these Disney pops? Where are they? So we got ourselves, first of all, limited to 1,500 pieces we got ourselves Mickey Mouse in the Matterhorn bobsled roller coaster. That's on the Matterhorn ride, and I think it's Disneyland where this ride is actually from. Up next is, I'm pretty sure it's Donald Duck in a fireman's outfit, considering it's got the red hat and it's got an axe. Then, a lot of people are hyping over this. It is the Kevin with the House with Balloons Pop Town from Disney Pixar's Up, which a lot of people have hyped over the Carl and Ellie 2-pack from SDCC. Now, people are just as hyped or even more hyped for the fact that the house itself is getting a pop at some point, even though it is the Pop Town. So you're kind of mixing two things that people want. They want a new character from Up, which is Kevin, and then you got the house itself, which I think would be great as a pop alone without anything. Then, when I seen this, I'm like, I just completed this set. We got ourselves Benson from Toy Story.
As much as it's like, I just completed the set, you must have also been pretty pumped for it, too.
Oh, yeah, I was pumped. I'm always excited for more Toy Story pops, especially. Not going to mention it until confirmed, but today, there may have been rumors going around about a Toy Story Pop and Tea bundle that's coming out, which I'll talk to you about that after, but we won't talk about it in the podcast until it's officially confirmed, which I know it's going to be its own post. The Matterhorn Pop rides, it's pretty cool. When I posted, I thought it was just a bobsled because it does say Matterhorn bobsleds on like the top left corner for like the logo. Obviously, it's Mickey Mouse. It's the 90th anniversary lineup, probably. Unless they're done with that now. I'm not too sure. Of course, it has to be 1,500 pieces, just because Funko likes to do that with some of the greater pops. It's simplistic detail. It's got this cool, like, roller coaster, like, got the tracks and, like, the hill with the snow. It's pretty cool. Then we got the Donald Duck as the fireman. I don't really collect anything Mickey or Donald. Actually, I don't collect at all of those type of dealios, so I'm going to pass on it, even though actually, once again, Funko kind of leaked where they're going to share it to via the Funko app, and I think this will be shared with Barnes & Noble, if I'm not mistaken. Then we got the Up Pop Town, which, wow. Just the house itself is a lot of detail. It's basically a spitting image of the house. I'm kind of glad in a way that they did a different character instead of what would be Carl, because they've already done two variants of Carl, one from the normal like Disney lineup and then with the recently made Up lineup, which I can see they're making a lot of Up Pops because I think soon, I think in 2020 will be the 10-year anniversary of the movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to like say that there's a sequel coming out. It's called Down.
I shouldn't really say Funko if you're listening. Pixar, if you're listening, movie ideas from MD Shady right there. Make a movie called Down. So just the house itself has got so much detail. Like, it's crazy the amount of detail they can put. Even, like, there's detail of, like, there's, like, the garden hose tied up there on, like, the bottom right by the stairs. And, like, the color scheme is awesome. Especially the idea they added the balloons. They had to add the balloons. I think it wouldn't have got as much hype as it did if they removed the balloons. Kevin is awesome. I remember Kevin from Up, from watching it a few times. And then Benson. It is better than I thought it was going to be, just for the fact that good old Disc Pops kind of leaked it the day of. So it didn't really give me like such a personal reaction where I got like... I'm kind of glad they're doing a Benson Pop because they missed it out on the common like Toy Story 4 set or even the original exclusive ones. It's basically a spitting image. It's just got pop eyes and it's got like the cool mouth and the attire itself. A lot of people are... When they look at this, it kind of looks like, I forgot the character's name. I think it's Slappy from Goosebumps. They kind of look at it and they see that. And one thing I'm very curious about, just looking at the fact that it shows just a regular Toy Story logo, whether this is going to be in the normal Toy Story set box that's red and yellow, or it's going to actually be in the Toy Story 4 box. Because it is a Toy Story 4 character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I should have mentioned also the Up Pop Town, which I kind of figured this would be the case, that it's going to be shared with Box Lunch. And Benson, or as the Funko app, which I'm kind of heated about, calls it just Dummy.
Oh,
which
really?
I'm very heated about. One thing I like to add is that I think a lot of people are going to buy these, like, multiples for themselves. It's going to be like the same thing as the Alien, where it's just like, it's your own army of ventriloquist dolls. Benson is leaked to be shared with Amazon. So I'm probably going to have to order off Amazon.
So I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to go front to back instead of back to front.
That's what she said. I mean, what? Sorry.
Yep.
Too much Office lately.
Yeah. That's what she said. So the Mickey Mouse I really like. One, because it's kind of got like a German flair to it, which I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like German.
Possibly, I think so.
Because like the hat, I don't know, it just reminds me of Germany, and like also his outfit. You can kind of see it through the bar of the ride there. But that being said, like the roller coaster itself has like a super retro feel to it with the colorway going on. It looks really nice. I love how much slight detail there is on this pop that makes it look so much better, with like specifically the stripes on the side of the ride, how they're like bordered as well as the color. It makes it look nice and sharp and good. I wish this pop wasn't only 1,500 pieces, because I would consider buying this. The logo on the front of the ride looks really well as well. But that's about all I have to say about that. I do like the stand for it too, like the base of the pop. It looks good. The Donald Duck is kind of just meh. As much as I love Donald Duck, it's kind of just a meh pop for me. I feel like they could have thought of something better to come out with for at least like the original Disney characters. The Up one, this pop could potentially make my top 10 list for the month, but for one reason, I can guarantee it probably won't. And that is because I feel like the balloons should be smaller and there should be more of them.
Okay, yeah.
Because wasn't there like a ton of balloons?
Yeah,
right?
there's a ton of balloons.
Like there's what, like 20 here?
Looks like it.
Yeah,
Some sort.
Yeah, where I feel like there should be like 100. I can't remember if they ever talked about like a number of actual balloons that there were.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Up again, especially since in like 2 months or so, Disney Plus will be out, and more than certain this movie will be on it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna have to watch it again when.
Yeah, so
Disney
just for
Plus-
that reason, it kind of like throws me off from thinking it's like a perfect pop, but it's pretty close. That being said, it's a very nice pop, and it's a nice pop town to see. Like, I don't know why I never thought of this. This is like one of those houses where it's like the house is like almost the whole point of the movie. Like not the whole point of the movie, but like it that's like when you see that, that's what you think of with
Yeah.
Up, right? So, and then the Benson, or quote unquote dummy, is also very well made. I love how the hands are. I don't know how to explain it via words, but I'm doing this kind of motion. If you look at his hands, one's like facing forward and one's facing like the back side of his palm.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Which is cool because he's a dummy, right? Like he can't like keep his hands completely straight.
Yeah.
And so it looks accurate to what an actual ventriloquist doll would look like if it's just standing there like that. The makeup on it looks pretty damn good. I like how they have the blue eyeshadow and the pink blush, I believe is what you'd call that. And then like the red lipstick looks good on it as well. It's a good looking pop. I'll have to end up picking it up.
Moving on, we got ourselves for the upcoming animated movie of the Addams Family. We got ourselves Gomez, Morticia, Uncle Fester, Wednesday, Pugsley, and Lurch with Thing. Then from the Netflix series La Casa de Papel, which is Spanish for Money Heist,
I was going to say, yeah.
we got ourselves Helsinki, Oslo, El Professor, Nairobi, Rio, and Agustin Ramos do Hermanos, or something like that. Some weird Spanish name. Then the very highly anticipated Wave 3 of Avengers Endgame pops. We got ourselves here the Iron Spider with the Nano Gauntlet. We have Casual Thanos. Then we have another version of Captain America with the shield and Thor's hammer, but it's actually a broken shield, and I'm going to go into detail on that because that's wicked. We have Gamer Korg. We have Captain Marvel with short hair, or it's actually called Captain Marvel with new hair. We have Thor with the pizza, and we have Hulk with the taco. And then, last but not least, NYCC pops. We got ourselves Vampire Mr. Burns, and we got Evil Groundskeeper Willie. I don't know how I feel about these Addams Family pops compared to like the set they made earlier in the year that's based on the original series.
Yeah.
It's funny because now as I realize that Uncle Fester is the one that I mentioned earlier that I thought looked like Danny DeVito.
Okay, the Uncle Fester to me kind of looks like a baboon. Like, look at his nose. Jeez
yeah, that's a
Louise.
huge nose size. Yeah, like Gomez, I don't know how I feel about him. It kind of looks like a shorter and fatter version of Esteban from Sweet Life.
Yeah, I could see that. Is this Addams Family movie, is this animated?
Yeah.
Okay, now these pops kind of...
Yeah, so then,
are a
and
little bit
then,
better.
yeah, like I said, I don't know how I feel about these pops. Lurch with Thing. It's weird that, and these are available now, actually. It's weird that, like, even this Lurch is out now when they have the other Lurch that hasn't been released yet, and it's a Funko Shop exclusive. La Casa de Papel. Don't know any of these characters because I haven't seen the show, but the one that stands out to me, don't know the name. I think it's El Professor, the third one on the top row, where it's got like the steampunk type glasses and it's got the red nose and polka dotted jacket. It's actually a different attire than every single one of them. Everyone's wearing this like red type jumpsuit, and this guy is just wearing like a polka dot jacket, and he's got this like sock monkey type dealio. I don't know what it is. Steampunk look, orange hair. Avengers Endgame. This is a sweet line. I think this may be my favorite wave that they've made of the Avengers Endgame
I would probably agree with that.
lineup. That Iron Spider is so sick. Obviously, this is from when they're battling Thanos and they're passing along the Nano Gauntlet, which is kind of like their fake gauntlet to disguise the real one that's with Tony. And I think Casual Thanos is from the beginning of the movie. This Captain America, it's based off the same thing as the Marvel Collectors Corp version, except this one is like 20 times better than that version. Especially since I rated that Captain America number 2 on my May 2019 list. Who knows? This could be number 2 again, or it could be number 1. But who knows? We still got 15 days approximately left of September. So who knows what pops will get announced then. But this is sick. A lot of people love it. It's kind of got like that bruised and kind of bloody effect that we wanted in that Tony Stark. But except in this Captain America. And it's got the lightning coming out of the hammer like it should. Gamer Korg is awesome. I remember this scene. And the one thing that people don't like about this is that Korg has got flowers on his attire when I think for a lot of people are saying it's pineapples. I wasn't really a fan of Captain Marvel, not just the movie, but even like Captain Marvel in this movie specifically. She doesn't really appear all that often in the movie anyways. Thor with pizza. I think originally in the rumored concept arts, it was Thor with a can of beer, which that's just how he's got this gut that he's got in this version of the pop. But I think maybe they switch it to a pizza because not only is that in the movie, but they wanted to make it more kid-friendly. And I remember Hulk with the taco. I remember that being a funny scene from what I remember. And yeah, I remember he was eating tacos with, I think, Captain America in this scene. If I had to choose 2 pops out of this set to have, it's definitely the Iron Spider with the Nano Gauntlet and the Captain America with the broken shield and Thor's hammer. Those are fire. Possibly Captain America could potentially, in the eventual top 50 list of 2019, could be, I would say, top 20. Top 15 maybe, as terms to all the criteria we'd be looking for when we do this list. The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror pop, so we got the vampire Mr. Burns. It's got this simplistic detail that's pretty cool, but I do like the groundskeeper Willie better because clearly a knockoff of Freddy Krueger. And I like how like the kind of like blade fingers is actually a rake, which is funny since Willie's like the custodian of the school at Springfield. And it's got this aggression that's really good in detail, simplistic detail, and it's wearing like the hat and the red with black striped shirt that Freddy Krueger would be known for wearing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would agree with you with the Trios of Horror Pops. I do like the Groundskeeper Willie one better, and that's because we haven't seen that character in the original set of Simpson Pops yet.
Yeah.
Where we have seen a Mr. Burns. So it's good to see Groundskeeper Willie, and of course this is like one of the most iconic versions of Groundskeeper Willie, where he's in that spoof of Freddy Krueger. That being said, the Mr. Burns pop is also really great. I definitely need to pick these up, as well as the rest of the Treehouse of Horror set that I still haven't got, which is unfortunate, but I will get them. Then the Avengers ones, you summed all of them up pretty well. Like, that Captain America is Fuego, so is Iron Spider. And they are definitely the best 2 out of this set of 7. That being said, I also do like how the Hulk with Taco turned out. That's also a pretty good pop. And then with the Money Heist pops, these are pretty damn accurate to their characters. I've seen like 1.5 episodes of Money Heist just because my parents have been watching it and I've just like caught some of it. I probably won't pick up all the Money Heist pops. I might grab like one of the Chase versions from the first set that came out. These are all solid for what they are. The Addams Family ones, I don't know how I feel about these. They're weird. I kind of like the Pugsley the best. Uncle Fester looks really weird to me. Like I said, it kind of looks like a baboon with that nose. I don't know how I feel about these. Maybe after I see the movie, if I do end up watching it, I'll like them a little bit more. I haven't seen the animation style of, like, the trailer or anything yet, so, like...
Moving on, we got the last 4 pops that were announced so far for September 2019. We got ourselves, once again, a New York Comic Con exclusive pop of Hello Kitty as Lady Liberty. Then we got ourselves a new wave of the Walking Dead Funko Pops. So in that lineup, we have ourselves Michonne, Judith, another version of Daryl Dixon, Alpha with Mask, and Dog. They just listed as Dog. I don't know why.
Maybe it doesn't have a name.
Yeah. And then announced actually today as we film this, which is Friday the 13th, we have ourselves a Funko Shop exclusive Loch Ness Monster Funko Pop, which was released obviously at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST today. And then we have from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, we have Harold the Scarecrow and Jangly Man. Hello Kitty as Lady Liberty. It's pretty cool. Obviously they're in New York, so obviously they make a variant. I guess I could see a lot of people buying this, but not too many. Obviously I wouldn't get it because I'm not a fan of Hello Kitty. Walking Dead, never seen the show yet. That's
Really?
also because I'm watching Fear the Walking... Well, was watching Fear of the Walking Dead because I was told it's a prequel to the show, but I also heard it is basically a spin-off and it takes place at the same time as Walking Dead, but in a different region. But the Alpha with Mask is very detailed. The face is super detailed. And I actually watched the video that Funko posted of the actress who plays Judith receiving the Funko Pop of herself.
Oh, really?
And her, like, marking out huge over it. The Daryl Dixon's pretty cool. It's got this high-tech crossbow type dealio. And it looks like he's got his mustache is brown, but his goatee is gray. And it's got this, like, scar across its face. The Michonne, or whatever her name is, it's pretty cool. It's got this sword. It's got this cool stance. Like, it's ready to fight. It's got, like, black dreads, but one of the dreads is just brown, which is weird. And then, yeah, I don't know why the dog is called Dog. Maybe, like you said, it doesn't have a name. So, Loch Ness Monster. When I woke up this morning and see this, I thought it was Dudley the Dragon. No joke. I looked up like, oh my god, it's Dudley the Dragon. And I'm like, wait, no, it's not. It's Loch Ness Monster. So, yeah, it kind of looks like a mix of, like, a seahorse, a dragon, and a turtle. I don't know. I don't really know much about the Loch Ness Monster as it is. I always thought the Loch Ness Monster...
Does anybody really know that much about the Loch Ness Monster?
I'm sure there's people that probably believe in the Loch Ness Monster and know it lives in wherever. It's got this, like, sort of, like, seaweed-type leaves coming out of its mouth, which I guess is pretty cool. And then the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Pops, they're super detailed. We got Harold the Scarecrow, which I just realized now, just zooming in these, because I didn't really get time to look at it. Like, the whole midsection is gone. It's just, you just see the pole, and it's just, like, whatever it's stuffed in, which that's pretty cool. And the face is cool. No feet. And then the Jangly Man. The teeth are phenomenal for this pop.
Looks like me.
Pearly white. But I like this, like, whole, like, one eye is higher than the other. Obviously, it's more like a zombie. That's what I assume it is, but...
I was pretty pumped to see these Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark pops, because I really want to see this movie, even though I'm not a huge fan of horror movies. Like, there are some that I'll go see, but I'm kind of a scaredy cat, so I don't usually like to watch scary movies, but this is one where, like, it's really intriguing to me. And this Harold the Scarecrow, I want this pop so bad, because, like, you see him in the trailer, and, like, just the trailer itself looks freaking awesome. Especially for, like, this character. Have you seen the trailer for this movie?
I have not seen the trailer for this.
It's sick. You should definitely watch it after we finish this. But, yeah, definitely the Harold the Scarecrow stands out more to me than the Jangly Man?
Yeah,
you called him?
they're calling him Jangly
Which, I understand he's I think he's, like, the main, like, antagonist of the movie. But I definitely like the Harold more. The Loch Ness Monster, I really like this pop. Like, it's a cute little fun spin on, like, old Betsy, the Loch Ness Monster. I kind of wish it wasn't a Funko Shop exclusive, but it is for today. I wonder if there's still any on the site. But yeah, it's got some decent detailing in it, especially for being, like, a certain palette of, like, greenish blue teal color. It looks nice. I really like the pop. The Walking Dead pops are also... This is a solid set, I would say. Judith, I didn't even know was, like, that age now. Like, the last time I watched Walking Dead, Judith was, like, a baby.
Yeah, it looked like from when I was, like, watching that, like, reaction trip, she looked to be, like, 10.
Yeah.
Like, she was, like, young.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. But I'd say the one that stands out the most to me is probably the Daryl. I do like this version of Daryl. I do have one Daryl pop riding his chopper. But this one looks cool. It's a good way to show that, like, hey, he's getting older. Even, like, his bow, like, looks to be, like, kind of damaged. Unless he just has a new one that I haven't seen. The Michonne is also pretty cool. I like that. And then the Hello Kitty pop. This is a really nice pop. It makes a lot of sense, like you said, for it to be Lady Liberty because it's in New York. And I don't know. I kind of like all the Hello Kitty pops because they don't have to do much to them to make them look good. But this one definitely stands out. Possibly my favorite Hello Kitty pop. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's the end of this edition of a Funko Podcast. Thank you to everyone that listened to this edition of a Funko Podcast. If you enjoyed this, make sure to go like, comment, and subscribe for more content in the future. And even press that little bell to be notified of when more editions of the Funko Podcast come out and more content on this channel that you're listening to this on comes out. And even though for sure we don't have the complete NYCC list, and I know that because there still is yet to be a Star Wars lineup of Funko Pops to
Which
be
I'm
announced.
assuming might be the new movie.
It's probably going to be Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion, and probably Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That probably may be the announcements we get. It could be so much Star Wars pop. And then who knows, maybe there's more movies and television that we don't know about yet. It's just they didn't want to know it. And before we forget, or before I forget to mention, yes, I do know that they announced Rick and Morty if you listen through this whole podcast, but they once again presented them in silhouettes that we don't know what they look like because it's probably a season 4 character and they're not going to announce until con happens. So we probably won't talk about those until an October podcast. So yeah, that's about it. I think I have my own outro saying finally.
Oh, yeah?
For this podcast. So I'm going to start with that and then we'll end with yours. So, obviously, thanks for watching and see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, we're out of here.
Peace in,
Peace out.